let the 48th commencement exercise begin. Will you please rise and join Erika Dolhoff in the singing of the national anthem? And please remain standing for the invocation offered by Reverend Dolhoff.
Let us pray. We give thanks and celebrate as we gather to recognize the accomplishments of the graduates who work so diligently to earn their degree and to fulfill their dreams. May we also rejoice in their accomplishments and allow those accomplishments to touch us and enhance our lives as we understand how their knowledge and their skills will bring new hope to another generation. We pray that we might be so inspired by them that we might be willing to use our best efforts, our intelligence, our knowledge, and our skills to bring hope and peace to all people. We ask this in the name of the God we worship and glorify. Amen.
Please be seated. I would like to take this opportunity to introduce the members of the platform to the audience. If you would, please hold your applause until everyone has been introduced. On the stage with me in the front row, starting from my left, Reverend James Dolhoff, Glenn Miller, Board of Trustees, Ray Steffler, Chair, Board of Trustees, Les Graves, President, Faculty Organization, Sarah Kasanich, Student Alumni Speaker, James A. Roboski, Vice President for Administration and Finance, Dr. Bruce Russell, Interim Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Case Willoughby, Vice President for Student Affairs and Enrollment Management, Dr. Will Del Pilar, Deputy Secretary of Post-Secondary and Higher Education, the Honorable Kimberly Geyer, Butler County Board of Commissioners, Maisie Zaccone, Student Speaker, Dr. Dawn DePasquale, Distinguished Alumni Speaker, Bill O'Brien, Vice President for Continuing Education and Off-Campus Sites. In the back row, Grace Hawkins, Board of Trustees, Dr. Sarah Peart Forbes, Board of Trustees, Joe Cubitt, Board of Trustees, Brian McCafferty, Board of Trustees. Stephen Newcaster, Board of Trustees. Nancy Steibel, Board of Trustees. Linda Dodd, Executive Director of Human Resources, Equal Opportunity Compliance Officer. Jessica Matnock, Interim Director of Communications and Marketing. Carmine Scotis, Board of Trustees. Jennifer Lynn, Board of Trustees. Gordon Marburger, Board of Trustees. And Scott McDowell, Board of Trustees. I believe that I missed one individual out of order here, Ruth Purcell, our Executive Director of the BC3 Education Foundation. If you would, please join me and give these individuals a round of applause. Good evening on this beautiful evening, and welcome to Butler County Community College for our 48th commencement ceremony in this 2015-16 academic year. Although we have approximately 235 students who will be marching and are with us this evening, our graduating class actually consists of 533 students. These students range in age from 19 to 72 years old. There are 21 students who are graduating with 2 degrees, and we even have one student who will be graduating this evening with 3 degrees. On behalf of the college community, I really extend my deep appreciation for you all being here, and certainly congratulations to our graduates. Your hard work and persistence have resulted in a significant accomplishment and a time for celebration. Sharing in the celebration with you this evening are parents, spouses, family, and friends who have supported you in various ways throughout your studies here at BC3. If you'd help me out with some audience participation, with the parents, spouses, families, and friends who offered so much support to our graduates, would you please rise so the graduates can turn around and acknowledge each of you? Please rise. Thank you. Now my favorite part, our dedicated faculty and excellent staff members who are here this evening. Would you please rise so that these graduates can acknowledge your fine accomplishments and your help in helping them graduate. Please rise. Graduates, if you'd please acknowledge your faculty members. Thank you. Certainly a deep appreciation goes out to everyone who helped to organize this event, with special thanks to Rob Snyder, Sherry Osborne, Tori O'Donnell, Patty Colosimo, Renee Pivison, Amy Pignator, Natalie Kitsko, Kim Smith, and the entire Office of Records and Registration. Thank you so much. We can give an applause for their hard work. Thank you. I hope you noticed the college seal, which is over my shoulder here. Our roots as an institution are represented in this BC3 college seal. Agriculture, steel, and oil that serve as key underpinnings to make higher education possible for the citizens of Butler County, and I would even argue the state of Pennsylvania. Each and every day, I thank those individuals, both present and past, who have helped make BC3 a first-class institution of higher education. To the graduates, you are graduating on what I would argue is our very best year of the 51 years that we've been in existence here at BC3. It's been nothing short of spectacular. If you would, please consider the following. Butler County Community College was named the top community college in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania by schools.com in the fall of 2015. For a third straight year, we were recognized as a military-friendly school by GI Jobs magazine. This evening, we have 22 veterans who are graduating with us. So in a year where the college was crowned as the top community college in Pennsylvania, we have the top community college student in Pennsylvania. You may not realize, but Pennsylvania's 14 community colleges service 320,000 students in the Commonwealth. And the best of the best is with us this evening. She will be speaking to you. She was named in April as a New Century Scholar, our college's first New Century Scholar, which signifies the best community college student in the Commonwealth. That person is Maisie Zaccone, an English major who will be transferring to SRU. Join me in congratulating Maisie. Our college's Rho Phi chapter of Phi Theta Kappa received national recognition. Sarah, who was announced earlier, is president of Phi Theta Kappa, and I joined her and some others from the college in an event in Washington, D.C., which recognized this honor society for BC3. How about a round of applause for our Phi Theta Kappa and also Sarah. Our college had tremendous success in our Pioneer Proud Major Gifts campaign. Was told last week that there hasn't been a fundraising initiative in Butler County that did as well as our Pioneer Proud campaign. With a goal of $5.5 million, we're inching ever closer to $7 million in private gifts for this institution, which includes the college's first $1 million gift and an 83% internal giving by our faculty and staff. We had a United Way Red Apple Award, a second one at that, for a nationally recognized Parks and Recreation professor, Chris Calhoun. Butler County Community College was named by the Pittsburgh Tribune Review's Reader's Choice Award for the best Northern Tier college or university. We achieved tremendous success in our nursing accreditation process. And finally, many commendations during the exit interview of our Middle States Commission on Higher Education 10-year accreditation visits. To the graduates, I am absolutely confident that you are leaving this #1 institution, this #1 community college, well prepared to face the challenges and opportunities of the world. Whether it be transferring to a senior institution, staying right here at BC3 to earn your bachelor's degree, even going directly into the workforce, I'm fully confident that your opportunities are endless. So please join me once again in congratulating our graduates.
President Newpower, distinguished guests, fellow trustees, faculty members and staff, family members and graduates. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I welcome you and thank you for joining us this evening. We're here to celebrate this special occasion and to honor the accomplishments of our 2016 graduates. This day has long been anticipated by the students, their parents, and everyone involved in their families. They have worked hard to reach this milestone, and we share their joy and excitement this evening. Students, I commend you for making the smart choice to attend Butler County Community College. We are proud to have been named the #1 community college in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. We have served the community for over 50 years. BC3 serves as an institution, affordable students this opportunity to transfer BC3 credits to four-year universities or community colleges or changing life Community colleges are life-changing institutions of higher learning, offering opportunities to make many who aspire to earn a college degree. Community colleges represent American education at its best. We are committed to lifelong learning and workforce development. Today, you have just completed one chapter of your education. I hope you accept this degree to become a lifelong learner. To the class of 2016, congratulations and best wishes for success in your future endeavor. And we are BC3 Pioneer Proud.
Hello, everyone. It's a privilege to be here in this place tonight with you to celebrate this time. We have so many honored guests here tonight, and of course, the most honored guests are our graduates. I'm here tonight to share with you on a topic which I call Life's Not Perfect. And if anybody knows what that's like, I would think it would be you students. All the things that came threatened to derail your efforts to finish what you start here in your degree program, and yet you found a way to overcome all those obstacles. Like, what does that say about you, the character and kind of people that you are, that you had the willingness and the ability to overcome those obstacles? I think that speaks for itself. Now we have to talk about careers, and I'll just talk about my own career for a moment and then what yours might be like, and how sometimes life's not perfect. I teach in an IT curriculum, and IT itself is an acronym, stands for Information Technology. And our students very early on find out that everything in IT is an acronym, okay? It's a veritable alphabet soup, okay? And so they learn to refer to everything by its acronym. They have to take, and I get to teach, a class called Systems Analysis Design. Yeah, they refer to it by its acronym. It's the SAD class. And I get to teach it. So you know what? Life's not perfect. Now, as far as your career goes, the old saying, life's a journey, right? And certainly, a career is a journey. It's a series of professional opportunities that you get. Now, a lot of those opportunities at the beginning might not be your perfect dream job. In fact, you might consider them more life's not too perfect. But I want to encourage you. Those experiences that you get and the skills that you learn in those early jobs are what are preparing you to perform well in what will be the dream job that you will eventually get to. Then there's that thing called an interview. You're all going to be going on at least one of those, I'm sure. My daughter recently graduated just last week from college, and we've had a little talk about this, and she said, you know, Dad, I really am not looking forward to the interview. And I said, Emily, I get that, you know, but I want to let you know that I don't think anybody feels that comfortable in an interview. And I think the reason is that it's an acceptance thing. Everybody who goes in an interview really wants and needs that person on the other side of the table to accept who they are and like them, so hopefully they'll give them the job, and that's why you're on the interview. Well, my advice is, you know what, don't worry about all that. You go on the interview, you give it your best shot, and remember that the interview, like life, is not going to be perfect, but you promote yourself the best way you know how, and I guarantee you that eventually the right person, the right time, and the right situation will come up, and they will see value in who you are, and they will hire you. Proverbs 16:9 says, "The mind of a man plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps." I think that has life's not perfect written all over it. We all spend a lot of time trying to plan our way, execute those plans the best we know how to make good decisions in life. Sometimes those work out well. Sometimes maybe not so well. But you know what? If we'll put our trust in the Lord, He's able to take that not so perfect stuff in life, transform it into something that's more than perfect. So now it's time to congratulate our graduates. You know, you guys have worked so hard. We're so proud of you. It's been such a privilege for us here at the college to serve you. Everybody give them a big round of applause. You guys are awesome.
Good evening and welcome to the 48th commencement of the Commonwealth's #1 community college, Butler County Community College. I am Butler County Commissioner Kim Geyer, and on behalf of the Butler County Commissioners, I would like to welcome all distinguished guests, President Dr. Newpower, administration, faculty and staff, fellow trustees, parents, grandparents, and most of all, our students, our graduating students. Being a 1984 BC3 graduate myself, I can vividly recall the excitement of this day as a new journey begins and a new life pathway is forged. You will join a host of many other distinguished BC3 graduates who are out there in the world doing amazing and meaningful things with their lives. Like you, they started with a solid foundation, a solid academic foundation, and with the love and support of family, faculty, and friends. We, the Butler County Commissioners, recognize BC3's value to our community. It's much more than an educational institution. It's also a driver of workforce development, a key player in economic growth, and a significant employer in the region. BC3 is a great source of pride in our community, especially as we graduate another class of future leaders full of great potential and promise. On behalf of the Butler County Commissioners, we hope your educational experience here at BC3 has been a positive and life-changing one. Thank you to all our administration, faculty, and staff, trustees, and parents who have all had a hand in influencing the educational experience and special achievements of the graduates we honor this evening. This evening is about new beginnings and new opportunities for our graduates. And in this spirit, we applaud each one of our fine graduates and wish them much success and happiness. We have every confidence that their time, talents, and skills will help to make a positive difference in our community and in our world. It gives me great honor this evening to introduce to you one of our many successful graduating BC3 students. This young lady is named the 2016 Pennsylvania New Century Scholar. The student receiving the highest All-USA Community College academic team application score in each state throughout the country is named a New Century Scholar and represents his or her state. I am very proud to say that Pennsylvania Scholar is BC3's very own Maisie Zaccone. Maisie is an English major who will be moving on to Slippery Rock University in the fall. She plans to pursue her doctorate and says that her dream is to become a professor of English at a Pennsylvania college or university. She is very active on the BC3 campus, participating in the Writers Club, Phi Theta Kappa's C4 Week, and serving as the first student editor of Facets, BC3's annual literary publication. Somehow, she also finds time to serve as senior member and deputy commander of cadets in the Civil Air Patrol, the official auxiliary of the U.S. Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great honor to introduce to you Maisie Zaccone.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to first welcome our distinguished faculty members, college administrators and staff, members of the Board of Trustees, graduating students, family, and friends. My name is Maisie Zaccone, and I am a fiercely proud soon-to-be graduate of BC3. I'd like to dedicate this moment to congratulate everyone who is standing here with me today. You are the ones who persevered. who grabbed hold of this experience and made it your own, and for that, I commend you and wish you the best as you continue on elsewhere. Today, you stand polished up, decked in accomplishments, but I know the truth about you. The unique BC3 journey marked by a diversity of stories. Many of you are parents, even grandparents, veterans who returned home, students with multiple jobs, men and women with numerous excuses to prevent you from the success to which you've dedicated yourselves. But as one of my favorite film quotes says, victories don't come by accident. 1 month ago, I was in Chicago, about to walk across the stage as the state of Pennsylvania's representative of a national scholarship, when this woman came and sat down beside me, and she turned to me and asked a very simple question. To what do you attribute your success? Lots of hard work, I'll bet. Now, granted, this is what the president of Phi Theta Kappa had just promoted as the means to her platform. So I was tempted to say yes and to choose the easy answer. But I realized that for me, the easy answer wasn't the correct one. No, I said, hard work wasn't it. I saw her eyebrows raise a little bit, as if I had taken her off guard, but I had her attention now. My success came because of choices, some of which had nothing to do with me. In that response, I thought back to a God who saved me, parents who raised me, and teachers who gave me more than knowledge. As we think back to all of the moments and the people that were dished up for us, maybe some of the most painful and vulnerable events are what prick us first. But these only add to the great victory that we are embracing today. I did not always choose my battles, just as some of you did not always choose yours. But they were given to me so that when I chose to give my best push back, today would be even better than I could have imagined. And this is why today has come for you. Because you were chosen for your non-Instagrammable moments, and then you chose. You chose your best selves. You chose the late nights and dark circles under your eyes because they would earn you this day. I'm sorry. What that Chicago woman saw was merely the representation of me, a 20-year-old woman with academic credentials. What she missed was all of us, in all of our in-betweens, packing away the excuses and making the smart choice, the BC3 choice. We leave here today with more than a piece of paper that tells us we are qualified. We choose this day, this victorious day, as a hope for all of the victorious ones to come. So as you go and as you celebrate, know that I am proud of you, and today and always, let's be Pioneer proud. Thank you, guys.
Dr. Don DePasquale graduated from Butler County Community College in 1977 and was named the BC3 Distinguished Alumni in 2010. She has been a preferred consultant to Princeton University, UBS Financial Services, Philips Medical Systems, UPMC, Yale University, Citibank, Westinghouse Energy, along with many, many other companies. Most recently, Dr. DePasquale was the Vice President of Talent Strategy for a Pittsburgh-based data analytics company and Chief Learning Officer for American University in Washington, D.C. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Don DePasquale this evening as our 2016 Distinguished Alumni Speaker.
This is the easiest talk I've ever given. It's just what Maisie said, okay? I'm done. This was so easy. Maisie, thank you. I don't know how you go after Maisie. She's fabulous. And I have to tell you, I was telling her how I was actually here almost 40 years ago, which, okay, you're not registering the right amount of shock and awe that Maisie did, which tells me I know why she got to be top student. She quickly said, oh, you don't look that old. She didn't even say old. She didn't say, you really wear it well. You look so good 40 years ago. It was brilliant. So what I want to see is when I say I was here 40 years ago, I'd like to see a little bit of shock, like, oh gosh, you look so good. She can't be that old. Don't do the math in your head. Okay, I was here 40 years ago. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. I feel a lot better. Otherwise, I'm going to go home and write my will. Of course, Ruth would be really happy with that if I was writing my will, right, Ruth? You would be happy with that. Okay. So first of all, thank you for inviting me back. This is such an honor. And whoever imagines when they're sitting in that seat that someday they'll be up here, you just kind of hope you won't ever be because it's a little scary. But I'd like to bring to light something that I almost hear as a bit of a theme that's gone on in a couple of the speakers right before me, because I want to share with you probably the most important thing you might have learned here at BC3. And all the faculty are rumbling, thinking, I bet it was in my class. And I'm going to probably assure you that some of it was in your class. But the thing is, it wasn't a class. You didn't have to do any quizzes or tests or team projects, none of that. It just happened very quietly, a very stealth skill that you learned that will help you the rest of your lives. So I'm going to ask you a question. How many of you know Saturday Night Live? Right? Okay. Okay. Right? Okay. How many of you know of it back in the late 70s? Oh, thank you. Some of the faculty. Okay, a couple are waving to me. Thank you very much. So I'm going to take you back to the late 70s, which were my college years. Again, every time I say that, I want to see shock and awe on your face. Like, I can't be that old, right? Shock. Okay, good. Okay, thank you. And at the time, in about 1975, Saturday Night Live brought on a fabulous comedic actress. Does anybody want to guess who it was? Gilda Radner, right? She passed away, sadly, of ovarian cancer at a kind of a young age. But they brought Gilda Radner in, and she was a tremendous comedic actress. In fact, she was the first one that they hired out of Second City. She created a character named Roseanne. The faculty, you think they're just smart. They're very up on, like, really cool things. So Roseanne, she appeared on the Weekend Update that we even see today. Now, the one thing about Roseanne was she was very brash. She was tactless. She was a consumer affairs reporter. And the one thing that would happen is when she was talking about a topic, she would invariably get off track into some really deep, dark, really bad area that you should never do on the news. And Jane Curtin, who was her co-anchor, would eventually look at her and say, this has nothing to do with what you were talking about. I don't get it. Why are you talking about this? And she would just look at her. Jane would interrupt. She would look at Jane and she would say, Jane, it just goes to show you. It's always something. If it ain't one thing, it's another. She did this. So here's where Gilda pointed out like a universal truth. You think it's change, taxes, death? Here's the universal truth. And I have come help. It's always something. It is always something. Here it is. So everybody experiences, let me see if I can put this little guy up here. Isn't he cute? Oh, look, he raps. I didn't know that. There you go. Okay. So glad my mom's deceased. She's a graduate here, too. She'd be so embarrassed about this. But, you know, she's watching me now. Okay, so here's the thing. Everybody experiences that something, like it's always something. Some of these are good things that take you closer to your goals, like today. And some of these things aren't so good and can get in the way. And we heard this theme from two of our speakers. But what I'd like you to do now is think of the things that were somethings in your life. And trust me, the most obvious ones will come to life, but probably almost every day you had to get to class, you had papers due, you had something going on, something happened. And they can be small or large. You know, maybe you're late for class because you had to stop to get gas. Maybe you couldn't get the class you needed to coincide with your work schedule. Maybe they used words like matriculate, and you didn't know what it meant. I know I didn't. I was a first-generation college student. And sometimes even the transmission could drop out of your car on your way to school. Oh, no, that happened to me. My transmission dropped out on the way to school. I mean, it happens. You have your dad's old car, right? It happens. You could get the flu and miss classes, be stressed about getting there. And there also could be extra large things that happen too, that happens to everybody in this room. They could be things like losing somebody you love, losing a job that's paying for your tuition that you need. Could be the responsibility of taking care of somebody who's ill. And the thing is that sometimes those small things, those big things, all that stuff don't stop us. They might even just delay us. They might delay us a semester or two. They might delay us a few years. In fact, I want to kind of ask this. Is there anyone here who feels they probably should get the award today almost? There's no award. Unless you want this, you can have this. But the award today for having gone to school here the longest to get a 2-year degree. Okay. How many years? My mother went 6 years for a 2-year degree. Let's yell out some years. How long did it take you? 9? I hear 9. 12. Where's 12? Anybody beat 12? How long? I didn't ask how old you are, right? Or your shoe size, or your age. Huh? 48 years from the time you started till your graduation today? 48 years. Okay, you made it. Now, did you start classes 48 years ago? You did, and you're just ending now? Great, okay. Well, first of all, I got a card for you today at a Hallmark. It has the seal, okay? So I want you to come up. Would somebody come up and pass this back to him? So congratulations, 48. Let's, round of applause. This is and while we're at it, I hope it's not the same person. Who might be the oldest person in this class? Might be you. 48 years. We don't have to tell you how old. Is there anybody who thinks, look at this guy, you think you look older than him? Even if you're not older than him, if you think you look older than him and you think you can get away with it, put your hand up. Okay, so you also might be our most inspirational graduate. Here's another card from Hallmark. I had to have 2 just in case. I never thought about the same person getting both of them. I could have saved like $5. Okay, so, but here's the thing to it. What makes it so special is everyone has those things they have to navigate to reach a goal, but not everyone can reach those. Not everyone can navigate those. Those people are not here today. They gave up, or maybe like you, sir, they just waited until the time was right and, you know, it was a nice day out and they decided to graduate. It could be something like that. But here's what happens, and here's what you did. You're the ones who wanted it badly enough, knowing it would make a difference in your life and the people you care about. You're the ones who didn't let the somethings get in your way to getting your degree. And you're the ones that used your creativity, your determination, your perseverance, and your resiliency to work around any potential barriers you might have met. And this is the most important thing you learned at BC3. You have proven to yourself and to others that your ability to get through, around, and over any obstacle is as strong as your desire to reach your goal. And you will run into many, it's always somethings. Everybody in this room has it. You will run into many of these, but now you know, it's just one more thing I have to get around. Now the thing about this that we want to also keep in mind is that, just a couple more thoughts to keep in mind with this. When Gilda said, Jane, it's always something, it sounds kind of like a complaint. She's whining a little bit, right? But when you have these things that happen in your life that aren't so good, like your transmission falling out, whatever happens, right? You just kind of need to say, have a good laugh and say, well, you know, it's always something, and now I have to get around this one. And also, when a good thing happens, I want you to really rejoice and go, wow, like today, like it's always something. Isn't this wonderful? And that's the unexpected that makes life so interesting. People who don't make a change in this world, people that don't actually do things to make things better, don't have those because they don't extend themselves. The more you extend yourself, the more you put yourself out there, you stretch, you try to do things you're afraid of, that's when you get into those somethings. And that is another big something there is, can sometimes be our own greatest fear, that we're not smart enough, we're not good enough. I remember thinking for years and years and years, years, somebody was gonna find me out, seriously. I thought they were gonna figure out like, who's she doesn't know anything. And I still sometimes like can think that sometimes, but we all do that. And everyone, here's really remember, everyone has some things they're dealing with. You can't tell by looking at anybody. You can't say because they have money, because they have a college degree, because they have a good job, that they don't have some things going on in their life. Everybody does. Everybody in this room has something they're dealing with. If somebody cuts you off when you're driving, it could be they're late picking up their child from daycare and they're worried. If someone's rude to you as a checkout line, my gosh, maybe her something is that her mother's sick and she doesn't want to be at work, she'd rather be at her mom's bedside. When people do things that are ill-behaved or rude or just plain stupid, and you sit there and think, oh my gosh, I want you to think to yourself, you know what, it's always something. I bet they have something going on. And that will cause all of us to be a little more compassionate, a little more tolerant, just to people being just merely human. And when you think about the word human being, we're just being, and that means we are going to run into things that happen all the time. I want to also share with you, kind of like end this, I have like one more little ending, but I want to end with you a quote by Eleanor Roosevelt, and it's one that I live by. And Eleanor Roosevelt said, do one thing each day that scares you. Do one thing each day that scares you. I even have a ring that says fear not. It reminds me. So when I'm afraid, and I get afraid often because I put myself in awfully stupid positions when I say yes to stuff, right? I figure I'll figure it out somewhere along the line, right? Or like that's that faking fear I have, right? Just try to go in and do it. But try to do one thing each day that really scares you. And if you're not doing that, you're probably not living hard enough, you're not living big enough, and you're probably not making as much use of your skills, talents, and wisdom that you could. So I really invite you to do one thing each day that scares you. I'm quoting Eleanor Roosevelt, it's not me. Now, as for today, this is one of those really great somethings. So it's always something, and here it is. You're here, made through all of that stuff, but there's going to be more coming. I wish I could tell you, you know what, this is the end of your somethings. You won't have to worry about classes, tests, blah, blah, blah. It'll just be different somethings. But now you know how to navigate it. You learned it here through the wisdom and the coaching and support of your faculty, through the support and help of the people in the administration to help you navigate things you need to know, like what the word matriculation means. I'm not sure if I know what that means, right? But everybody's been there to kind of help you through, and no matter what somethings you come up with, it is always something, and it can always be good, and it can always be something that will enrich your lives. So thank you very much. Congratulations to all of you. I'm so happy for all of you in your future, and this is the launch. This is your first day. Go out there and get them. And do things they're afraid.
I am pleased to introduce this evening's keynote speaker, Dr. Will Del Pilar, Deputy Secretary of Post-Secondary and Higher Education at the Pennsylvania Department of Education. Dr. Del Pilar has recently returned to the Pennsylvania Department of Ed, where he previously served as a special assistant working on post-secondary access and success. Prior to his current role, Dr. Del Pilar served as Senior Director of Development at the University of Florida and at the Pennsylvania State University, where he directed fundraising efforts for first-generation, low-income veteran and military and students with disabilities. Dr. Del Pilar's professional experience also includes over 13 years in enrollment management at 4 different institutions. Dr. Del Pilar's work in higher education has shaped his research focused on post-secondary access, retention, and policy. Specifically, his interest centers upon the intersection between state policy, social capital, and school factors on the post-secondary enrollment in student populations. Dr. Del Pilar received his bachelor's degree in public relations from Chapman University, a master's degree in educational counseling from California State University, Dominguez Hills, and his doctoral degree in higher education from the Pennsylvania State University. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Will Del Pilar.
It's a tough act to follow with the 2 speakers before me. Maisie, there's a picture of you at the Department of Education that I see every morning when I go to get in the elevator, and so I saw her and I was like, here she is. Good evening. It's an honor and a privilege to be here at Butler Community College on this, the 48th commencement. I would like to thank the graduates of the class of 2016, their friends and family joining us today, the faculty, staff, and administration, Board of Trustees, and President Newpower for allowing me to share a few comments with you. I bring greetings and congratulations from Governor Tom Wolf and Secretary of Education Pedro Rivera. We at the Commonwealth and at the Pennsylvania Department of Education applaud the personal effort and sacrifice that have brought you to the end of this journey and to the beginning of the next. Additionally, I would like to personally applaud your friends, family, and loved ones who offered you the support and encouragement to help you to get to graduation. I hope in my time here today to share a bit about myself, but more importantly, to offer you a few thoughts that I hope will serve you in your personal and professional life. As I considered a theme for my comments today, I thought about all of the graduations I had attended. What I remembered most about those graduations was that I usually was hot, anxious to hear my name called, excited to see friends and families, and wondering where and how many pictures I was going to have to take before eating. Nowhere in my recollection could I recall the commencement speaker or the advice given. So I'm going to try and be brief this evening and share a bit of advice. Specifically, I'm going to share my 5 professional mistakes. I do this in the hope that that you can learn from the errors that I have made and hope they will serve you as you graduate and move into the next phase of your lives. Before I do this, though, I want to share a bit of information about myself that will contextualize why being here today is so meaningful to me and why it is such a great honor to be participating in your graduation. I am the oldest son of Wilfredo and Lillian Del Pilar. My father was born in Puerto Rico and my mother in New York. I'm one of 5 children raised to a father who took some college courses as an adult and my mother a high school graduate. My father was a Protestant minister up until his retirement, and my mother worked alongside my father. We moved frequently growing up, and I can recall changing schools 7 times. When my parents enrolled me in high school, the guidance counselor enrolled me as a teacher aide for 3 classes in a 6-period day. My parents were not engaged in our education, and while my father had and still has a love for reading, education was left for school. There existed a trust that schools would make the right educational choices for students. In my case, the decision my counselor made was that I didn't need to enroll in college prep courses because I wasn't going to college. I was going to get a job after graduation. And as a result, I was placed in courses that failed to challenge me. I did not take the SAT, nor did I engage in a conversation about test prep, the FAFSA, or college options. High school graduation was the goal. As a result, I didn't go to college immediately following high school. I worked full-time for a year before I began doing research on colleges. I bought an SAT prep book, applied to colleges, and completed the FAFSA on my own. The first time I visited the campus that I went to school to was when I went to enroll in classes, to matriculate in classes. And thanks to the support of family, friends, and mentors, I was able to be the first person in my family to graduate with a bachelor's degree, and years later with a master's, and later, even later, with a PhD. I share this story because I imagine some of you were told one day that you wouldn't make it to graduation, or that you weren't college material. I was told the same thing, and today I'm the Deputy Secretary of Post-Secondary and Higher Education for the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. If I did it, so can you. We are not any different. Within you exists the capacity to be whatever you want to be. It has not been easy, but the journey has been interesting. And today I will share some of the things I have learned in the hopes they will serve you. My 5 professional mistakes. My first professional mistake was limiting my job search to a very narrow geographic area. I only applied for jobs that were within driving distance of where I grew up. I couldn't imagine living far from where I had grown up or being separated from my family. As a result, I was underemployed and underpaid in my first position after graduating from college. While ultimately I followed my own advice years later and have lived in several states, my unwillingness to take a chance limited my professional growth. As graduates, you should be willing to explore. Your next opportunity may not be here. It may take you to Pittsburgh, Harrisburg, Philadelphia, or maybe somewhere different. Widen your search and consider opportunities that may be outside of your comfort zone. My second professional mistake was accepting a position simply for higher salary. I've made this mistake twice, and both times my experience was similar. While salary is important and it should be a factor, it should not be the only factor in any professional decision. All about the money. When I have allowed money to be the main factor in a professional transition, both times I regretted the decision. While I was paid more professionally and personally, it was the most unhappy I had ever been. You need to weigh all the factors. Who will you be reporting to? What can you learn from them in the job? Are there opportunities for growth and promotion? How does this job prepare you for the next opportunity? These should be some of the opportunities you consider in addition to salary. My third professional mistake was constantly playing it safe. Early in my professional career, I was never willing to take a risk or speak up. While I knew I had much to learn and am still always willing to listen, the truth is we all have something unique and valuable to offer in the classroom and the workplace. Part of my hesitancy, and maybe yours, is a fear to be wrong or say something that doesn't make sense. This feeling has a term. It's called imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is the fear that at any moment you may be uncovered as an imposter. You live with a nagging fear of being found out, or as not being as smart or talented or deserving or experienced as your colleagues or classmates. Truthfully, I still, at times, struggle with this. But what I have learned is that I have a contribution to make. Additionally, I have learned to embrace failure. It's not that I enjoy being wrong or not succeeding, but you can only innovate if you take a risk. And if you take a risk, you may fail, but you learn from that failure and make improvements that make a difference. My fourth professional mistake was a lack of willingness to work collaboratively. As a first-generation student and a very competitive person, I always felt I had to do everything on my own. I did not like working on a team and was resistant to giving up control on projects. I was what you would call a micromanager. I felt a need to constantly prove myself and show that I belonged, but did this at the expense of collaboration and teamwork. I had to learn the value of team and the unique contributions every colleague brings to their work. This is the value of working in a diverse environment. Every one of us brings a unique perspective and approach. What I had to learn was to identify the strengths and contributions of my coworkers and to assign projects as appropriate. I learned to value the team, which made me a much better coworker and ultimately leader. My fifth and final mistake, I have a lot more personal ones, but professionally, was not appreciating my job and professional relationships. This was probably the hardest lesson I've had to learn as a professional. I had the privilege and honor to work with a mentor, colleague, and friend, Dr. Terrell Jones. I spent many hours with Dr. Jones. We traveled together and had conversations not only about work, but also about politics, life, hobbies, our favorite drinks. If you knew Dr. Jones, he did most of the talking and I did most of the listening. We became more than colleagues, we became friends. Dr. Jones taught me how to fly fish and would confide in me and I in him. On a Thursday morning, Dr. Jones called me into his office to tell me he was going to miss a meeting we had scheduled because they had discovered a lump in his throat, but that he would be back by Wednesday. That lump turned out to be throat cancer. Dr. Jones never recovered from the surgeries, radiation, or chemotherapy he received. On August 17, 2014, I called Dr. Jones and spoke to him briefly, and we scheduled a visit on August 19th. I had taken the day off and was on my way for coffee when I received a call informing me that my friend, colleague, and mentor had passed away that morning. A part of me had taken our relationship for granted because I did not anticipate he would be gone less than 6 months after he called me into his office. His absence changed the workplace for me, and I learned that you need to appreciate the job and relationship you develop through work. While you may transition jobs, you should keep the relationships you develop as a professional. Always keep the door open and embrace the job you have. It's very hard to be great or even to focus on the job you have if you're thinking about your next job. As you prepare to graduate today and proceed into the job market, I hope my 5 professional mistakes will serve you as you progress in your professional career. Remember, be open to opportunity wherever it may be. It's not all about the money. Let it be a factor, but not the main factor in your professional decision making. Don't be afraid to take a risk or even fail. Learn to work on a team. It will help you be successful professionally. And finally, embrace the job and professional relationships you have, because you never know when these may come to an end. It has truly been an honor and pleasure for me to share my thoughts with you today. I hope they serve you in your personal and professional life. I leave you with a quote by author Neil Gaiman. Now go and make interesting mistakes. Make amazing mistakes. Make glorious and fantastic mistakes. Break rules. Leave the world more interesting for you being here. Congratulations, class of 2016.
What a great, great keynote speech. And on behalf of the college, Dr. Del Pilar, thank you so much. Please join me again in thanking Will.
We now shall proceed with the conferring of degrees. Candidates for degrees with honors are signified by gold tassels. The gold stoles are worn by members of our honor society, Phi Theta Kappa. Will the audience please refrain from applause until all the diplomas in each category have been granted? Will the candidates for the degree of Associate of Arts please rise? President Newpower, these candidates have met all the requirements for their degrees. I am happy to present them to you, and I respectfully request that you confer upon them the degree of Associate of Arts.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the trustees of this college and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Associates of Arts with all of the rights and privileges pertaining thereto.
Will the Associate of Arts degree graduates please come forward to receive your diplomas? Maisie Zacone. Christopher James Ammerman. Stephanie Elise Armstrong. Tammy Jo All. Courtney Lee Barnhart. Tyler J. Barnhart. Sarah Elizabeth Bartley. Jennifer Ann Bollinger. Nolan Matthew Boozle. Chelsea M. Brown. Jacob Allen Brown. Ryan Berger. Diane Jean Cleaver. Natalie Marie Compton. Visions Harley Davidson. Cassandra M. Delp. Nicolina June Elaine DePietro. Justin David Drasbaski. Leanne M. Duncan. Bradley David Egan. Sharon Virginia Fennell. Bryson Robert Fox. Katie Elizabeth Grants. Amanda Marie Harding. Nicholas T. Jaycox. Terry L. Johnson. Catherine Marie Kimmel. Roseanne Ruth Lesser. Alexis Lintz. Elisa Lostetter. James M. Manning. Ryan W. Marsh. Sarah McAllister. Sarah E. McCabe. Errol Shane McCaslin. Cheyenne Lynn McCommon. Timothy Michael Seth McConaughey. Amber R. Michael. Jason A. Morrison. Stephanie Rose O'Toole. Nathan Benjamin Popel. Benjamin Andrew Holmes Powell. Eric James Prokopchak. Yvette Marie Rippey. Jacob William Robinson. Nicole Marie Salmon. Quinn Michael Sassone. Lauren Marissa Shabani. Alicia Stevenson. Kelly Dawn Strutt. John Robert Stutz. Christopher Jean Thomas. Robert Eugene Thomas, Jr. Allison Marie Torres. Deanna Marie Vaca. Kara Elizabeth Verne. Nicholas Vaughn Wade. Lindsay Ray Walker. Emily Wessel. Alexander Sloan White. Hannah Nicole Wilson. Nicholas S. Wolford. Tyler D. Yasinski. Miranda L. Zaborowski. James Martin Wigan. Will the candidates for the degree of Associate of Science please rise? President Newpower, these candidates have met all the requirements for their degrees. I am happy to present them to you, and I respectfully request that you confer upon them the degree of Associate of Science.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the trustees of this college and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Associates of Science with all of the rights and privileges pertaining thereto.
Will the Associate of Science degree graduates please come forward to receive your diplomas? Cassandra May Allen. Rebecca Jean Bauer. Crystal A. Bollinger. Matthew William Burkhart. Adam L. Campbell. Austin Anthony Claroni. Zane Andrew Elliott. Adam Joseph Farron. Jennifer Elizabeth Harris. Stephanie A. Fields. Daniel James Filgis. John Patrick Kelleher. Nicole Genevieve Klasik. Zoe Ann McCafferty. Olivia Lynn McElhaney. Thaddeus G. Myers. Michael Patrick Paul. Susan Eileen Puel. Haney Richaney. Michael Carson Riley. Carson Elizabeth Simpson. Joshua M. Stutz. Miriam Del Carmen Vasquez.
Gracias.
Corey Williams. Will the candidates for the degree of Associate of Applied Science please rise? President Newpower, these candidates have met all the requirements for their degrees. I am happy to present them to you, and I respectfully request that you confer upon them the degree of Associate of Applied Science.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the trustees of this college and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Associates of Applied Science with all of the rights and privileges pertaining thereto.
Will the Associate of Applied Science degree graduates please come forward to receive your diplomas? Sarah Dorothy Kasinich. Christina Nicole Ashbacker. Carolyn E. Amsden. Michael Thomas Artman. Sarah Austin. Darian Grace Bauer.
Darian, congratulations.
Luke A. Behe. Tricia M. Blackburn.
You did it. Congratulations. Great job.
Jordan Tyler Bloom. Charles Mark Boyles.
Charles, congratulations.
Ashley J. Brim.
There's a smile. Congratulations.
Courtney Marie Callan. Paige Nicole Clark. Marissa Ann Combine. Robert Cortez. Alexandria Lynn Corson. Trent Anthony Zank. Tricia Lynn Covert. Robert S. Craig. Dylan S. Collins Cruz. Diane Marie Seifert. Katie Ann Davidson. Mary Jo Deep. Angela Marie Di Gregorio.
I'll take it. Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations.
Rachel Anita Druzak. Lauren Page DeBovie. Casey Sarah Eagleton. Kenneth C. Edinburgh. Lydia R. Fallaker. Tara Ann Fontana. Kirsten Eileen Ford. Trish Goodell. Nicole Govan. Shauna Casey Grossman Mershimer. Darian Brooke Groover. Kelly Lynn Haney. Brittany Ann Hankins. Seth Levon Hartle. Kelsey Marie Hockenberry. Benjamin Jerome Hope. Donna A. Hustak. Lindsay M. Hyatt. Philip James Julian II. Sarah M. Karcher. Autumn B. Lilly. Emily Gabrowski. Taylor Nicole Manolis. Chloe Marie Marshall. Daniel Gage Martin. Chelsea Lee Martsoff. Ashley Marie Matoka. Nicole Matos. Austin Miller. Richard William Miller. Savannah Lee Miller. Angela Lynn Monpere. Kevin James Myers. Charlene Norris. Lisa Ann Nudie. Christy Lynn Nitch. Terry L. Pendleton. Diane Lynette Prince. Anna Marie Questio. Michaela Elizabeth Ripley. Jacob Andrew Rogers. Casey Garrett Rogers. Cody Edward Rosenbauer. Carolyn Elaine Ruffing. Sean R. Ross. Walter Michael Santa II. Jermaine C. Scales. Paulina Ann Scher. Lisa Marie Schooley. Adrian Lynn Lowe. Maria Christine Shreve. Sarah Elizabeth Schick. Dawn Marie Slayer. Tracy Slicker. Jacob Raymond Smith. Jamie M. Smith. Kara J. Smith. Laura Ashley Smith. Stephen Soliday. Allison Nicole Stam. Colby Lorraine Staples. Aaliyah Jane Stowe. Caitlin M. Stuyvesant. Tanya Osterling. Caitlin Marie Patton. Jared Clark Sullenberger. Kelly Marie Thompson. Jennifer Marie Toten. Matthew Garrett Venturella. Brent M. Wallish. Mallory Lynn Walmsley. Alexandra J. Wheeler. Joshua Adam Wilson. Ryan R. Yarrington. Christy Lynn Yannick. Sandra Nicole Zaradnik. Jamie Carolyn Zeidler. Taryn J. Zeigler. Nicole Renee Setzenfand. Garrett Robert Shaw. Melissa Jean Stoner. Heather Marie Stranick. Emily A. Thompson. Will the candidates for the certificate or diploma of achievement please rise? President Newpower, these candidates have met all the requirements for their diplomas. I am happy to present them to you, and I respectfully request that you confer upon them the certificate or diploma of achievement.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the trustees of this college and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I hereby confer upon you the certificate or diploma of achievement with all of the rights and privileges pertaining thereto.
Will the certificate or diploma of achievement graduates please come forward? Anna Liza C. Creasy. Andrew Stephen Alois. Lynn P. Best. Alyssa Elaine Collins. Erica Lauren Cooper. Karis Marie Feeney. Sierra Christine Kleckner. Tessa Marie Makarevich. Monica Lynn Porch. Stacy Marie Cesarba. Jessica N. Westner. Amber Nicole Young. Mary Jean Green. That's it.
Good evening, graduates of 2016, friends, family, and mentors. My name is Sarah Kasnich, and I am a proud 2016 graduate of the nursing program and the president of the Honor Society here at BC3. It is my honor tonight to welcome the new graduates as accomplished alumni. In 1998, the BC3 Education Foundation presented a ceremonial mace to the college in acknowledgement of the college's 30th commencement. At each yearly commencement ceremony, a student representative of the current graduating class attaches a tassel to the mace, signifying the transition from students to alumni. Continuing in this tradition, the 2016 tassel representing this year's alumni class is being presented by Jennifer Harris, the Vice President of Phi Theta Kappa and an honors graduate in Accounting, Business Administration, and Business Management. The attachment of this tassel welcomes us, the class of 2016, as the newest members of the BC3 alumni community. Thank you, Jenny. The BC3 Alumni Association was created to preserve the history of the college, to improve the college's relationship with alumni and the community, and to advance the mission of BC3. The Alumni Association serves the college, alumni, current students, and the community by offering programs, services, and events which provide professional and social networking, while enhancing the connection to Butler County Community College. Graduates, today, we join the ranks of over 16,000 other BC3 alumni. We have become part of BC3's history, and I encourage each of you to visit the alumni table at the reception after commencement to pick up your free gift and to discover the many benefits of joining the Alumni Association. Graduates of 2016, I wish you luck in all your endeavors and welcome you again as proud alumni of Butler County Community College. Congratulations.
Tonight, we have witnessed and acknowledged those who are well prepared to inherit and influence the future. On behalf of Butler County Community College, one last sincere congratulations to all of the graduates. As we exit the field house, I would like to draw your attention to a couple of things. One, you will have the opportunity to take photos in front of the college's Conestoga wagon. The wagon will be located in the Founders Hall reception area courtyard. And of course, there is a reception to honor our 2016 graduates that will take place in Founders Hall. Now, if you will please stand and join Erica Dahlhoff as we sing our alma mater and remain standing for the benediction presented by Reverend Dahlhoff.
As we leave this place of celebration, may we go with a deeper appreciation of the gifts we all have to offer. May we leave with a greater determination to use those gifts to bring joy and hope to all of humanity. And may we go in peace, surrounded by the arms of the one we call our Lord and God. Amen.